We are the Door-to-Door team. This is the Door-to-Door team podcast.
I always do get excited about people seeing the real in the door-to-door space. I'm wanting to be able to share more authenticity.
Where we talk about the highs,
formulated my mindset to always think and always believe that I'm going to be the best.
the lows,
I have a 3-year-old and I do this for them.
and all the in-between of door-to-door. Hi, y'all. Welcome back to the Door-to-Door Team podcast. I'm Kiki, and this is Nathaly Ortega. I love saying her last name.
I love her.
And she has been with us on our team for a month now,
Yeah.
I think. It feels like forever, honestly, in a good way. You have brought such a fun, confident, faith-filled, sunshine energy to our team. And especially at a time when, if you're in door-to-door, near the end of the summer, especially if you're a summer team, the energy can feel a little tired sometimes. And it's been so fun having this fresh energy. And I know that where you've come from, that you're also feeling the fresh energy with us, which is so cool that we've both been able to feel kind of elevated by the other. And so that's where I wanted to start today is if you'll just share how you got here. What was the journey that brought you to be with us?
Yeah, so I relocated my whole life from Oklahoma. I've been in door-to-door in solar sales for the last 2 years, and I relocated my entire life to Florida, Orlando, Florida, to this company, thinking they were selling me the dream, everything, all this stuff, the culture. And so I had been working there for a few months, door knocking, nothing new. And I think my biggest struggle was the lack of just direction. I just didn't have the direction. The leadership wasn't there. The culture wasn't there. And the first 3 weeks I wanted to quit. Just first 3 weeks, I didn't even want to be there. And I'm a person, I'm not a quitter.
Yeah.
I'm going to push through. I'm going to get past the suck and see, okay, is this really for me? It got to the point where I had not made a sale in the last month and a half. And I knew, okay, if I could just surround myself with good leaders, mentorship, culture, I know that's the type of environment I will thrive in. And so it was a Monday. We host a Monday meeting every Monday. And I'm the manager there. And I no longer wanted to show up. I didn't even want to show up to my own meeting. I didn't even want to plan anything. And I just remember I canceled the meeting and my boss called me up and he's like, you can't do that. And I just was trying to find a way to exit, step down until I figure something out. And I just remember going to the gym and I just cried. And I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I feel like when you reach the point of I'm done, I'm ready for something new, that is when the universe opens doors okay, what are you ready for? And I went to the pool, I put my headphones on, and I just put a 20-minute meditation, and I just started praying and just manifesting. And not even so much of a dollar amount. It was so much more of what do I want as far as my marriage, a legacy with my kids, my future kids? What kind of life do I want to have? Traveling, and I want to be happy. I want to enjoy the job I actually in, because this is not you already know, it's not an easy job. And in the days that it does suck, do I have a good team to fall back on? Do I have people that support me, who see my value? And I just didn't see the value. I just didn't feel like this company valued me, and I didn't see the value they were bringing in as well. So after that 20-minute, I kid you not, I'm just crying. I'm just envisioning my future. And without really saying words, I just feel like God knows my heart and knows what I wanted. I have been on Instagram. I have never seen a woman door-to-door. I've never seen a woman on the door-to-door. And so honestly, right after I got in my meditation, I look on my Instagram and Suli, she popped up on my reel. And I said, whoa, this is so this is crazy. I didn't think anything of it. I said, okay, awesome. I started stalking her from literally the pool to the walk to my apartment. It happened so fast. I was just scrolling. I was just stalking her. What is she about? How does she talk? How does she put herself out there? And I saw all the success she's had. I saw the video pin that she was the vice president. And I wanted to know what her heart was.
Yeah.
Because I had joined this company in Florida, and they sold the red line. Oh, the red line and the red line, the red line. Like, that's good and all. But one thing I really resonated was her talking about she probably could make more money in another company, but she will outwork everybody. And she is in a company where she feels valued, she feels seen. And that's exactly what I was looking at when it came to looking for another job opportunity. So I messaged the Instagram. It probably was Mikey that responded to me. I thought it was her. I'm like, where are you located at? Oh, San Antonio. I'm like, perfect. Oh, that's the headquarters. Like, I was born there. That's a sign. And right before I got into my apartment, I'm like already getting the messages. And I said, okay, here's my number. Do I submit my resume? Where do I submit? Like, I was already hungry, ready. Yeah. And I just felt like that was a sign right there from God. Like, I need to take the job. And I had not talked to my significant other all day. So he has no idea like what's going on. And Suli texted me and she said, hey, could you jump on a call in like 2 hours? I said, yeah. And so I called my boyfriend like, hey, I just saw this girl on Instagram. I think it's a great opportunity. We might move to Texas. Just letting you know. And he's just like, what? And so at the time, my son was visiting me from Oklahoma, and I was, like rushing for him to leave because I'm like, okay, I know she's probably going to tell me to fly out there. Like, I was already pre-planning what was going to happen. Yeah. So I jumped on the call with her. And we talked, and it was like instant vibe, instant connection. I'm like, yep, I can get behind this woman. Like, I didn't even ask her what the payment plan, or not the payment plan, but what was the price per kilowatt. I didn't care. Yeah. I just knew that if I followed this woman, I will become successful. I will become successful as long as I have the right mentorship, the right leadership, people that make you feel seen, people that speak value into you. And I was just so hungry for that. So I just said, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. And she said, okay, well, I want you to be here for a month. Just think about it and you can book your flight. I said, no, I'm booking my flight tonight. Let's revisit this tomorrow. Let's have a second. I said, no, I'm doing it. I jumped all in. And I feel like when you know what you're seeking, when you know what you're looking for, you know exactly when it's there. I've done that in relationships. I've done that in jobs. Anything you need, just write it down. Yeah. Because if you're just out in the air like, oh, well, I'll take this job and this job, it's not going to be a good fit. You got to know exactly what you're going into. So here I've been.
Here you've been. And I'm like, I love that. I love that you were just, I am in the space, I'm making space, I'm letting the universe and God know like what I need and what I want. And it provided. And so now you're here, which is amazing because you just jumped in. And I'm sure you had expectations, obviously, of what it would be like, right? Yeah. To come, and you were expecting a certain culture, certain leadership and mentoring. And I know also from experience that when we jump and when we go into these experiences, that some things are what we hoped for and some things are different. And what would you say in a nutshell has been the transition for you? Like what you were expecting and what has been different than what you were expecting transitioning from that experience to this?
Okay. It's better than what I thought.
Oh, good.
It's better than what I already knew. I saw the culture, so I kind of had an idea, but you don't know. You can only see so much in videos until you fully immerse yourself in the culture. Yeah. I think my first day when I got here, I was just like, oh, there's a lot going on. Like, the laughing, the joking. It just felt like everybody here is family. Yeah. And you guys are not just coming to work. Okay, we're coming into work. We're just going to go over our numbers. It's genuinely like, hey, how was it? We're throwing in comments, and I love the leadership. Suli, she's been literally holding my hand since I got here, just giving me the tools, the videos, having me write my script out, doing things I've never had any leader in the last 2 years in solar, never teach me and actually give me the essential tools to be successful. So I love the culture here. It feels like family. I feel like if I'm even struggling just even one bit, I have Suli that's really getting behind me and helping me. And then within the first week, I got 3 sales. Yeah. Which, after coming from Orlando, which is a very saturated, difficult market, I'm not saying you can't sell. You can. Yeah. It's just you really gotta be like, a lot of people out there, especially in the office, was buying leads. Okay. And it's just you're cheating yourself out from being really successful on the door. So I would just say, my expectations were blown away just
Yeah.
by being here, just with the culture, the activities that we do within one another, and just the tools that, like the human design.
Yeah.
Yesterday, bringing
Yeah.
Teza, which if you don't know your human design, you need to do that.
Fun plug. Awesome. I love that you had these expectations, that they were surpassed. But I also know that there are things about this job, no matter where you are, even with a supportive family culture and leadership and mentorship, it is hard. And I know that you have a son, you have a significant other that's not here right now. Like, how have you navigated even so far that transition and what that looks like to not have them here, and what the sacrifices that you're making?
So with my son, it's made it a little bit easier with my son. It's still difficult, but whenever I moved to Orlando, it was a hard conversation I had to have with the father. He said, hey, he's 13. He needs to be around me. And I didn't know if I was going to stay. Within my first 3 weeks, I was just like, I don't even know if I'm going to keep him in Orlando. And so he decided to live with his dad. So I know he's in good hands. So that gave me a sense of, relief that he's with his dad. But when it comes to my significant other, who I adore and I love, it was hard, more harder for him. He kind of teared up.
Bless him.
I know, he kind of
So
teared
cute.
up. But I think what made it a little bit easier was just knowing the bigger picture. Just knowing like, okay, I'm doing this. We're gonna take the leap of faith. We're gonna jump. We're gonna make a big future for ourselves. But I think, yes, it's hard when you're having to leave what you know, being comfortable and knowing like, what if it's not worth it? What if it's not? But I think just trusting my intuition and just letting that guide me, be like, I just have a gut feeling. And I'm one of those people, if I feel that gut feeling, I gotta jump. Like, no questions. Like, I just gotta go in and jump. And I think what's really helped is me FaceTiming him very frequently throughout the day, sending text messages, which honestly, it has helped our relationship. Even though we've been away, our relationship has improved drastically, because instead of being physically here, like, hey, like, I'm here, I love you. Now we're having to communicate in a different type of way and work on communication, asking questions. So, and then, instead of being assumptive over the phone, we're asking questions like, how's your day going? How do you feel? So it honestly has improved my relationship, even though it's been hard being away from him. But I think it's going to be nice because I'm going to see him 3 days. So it's going to be really refreshing and kind of have the nice, butterflies, a new spark in our relationship. Just that new level. Just like we got over this hump, new level, so I
love that.
Yeah.
And I love too that because you put yourself in a spot that was healthier for you, like you knew you weren't thriving in the other scenario. And that scenario could be right for some other people, but for you, you could feel it. And I imagine that's contributed, even though it's a sacrifice in one way, it's probably also a gift to your relationship that you are in a healthier space where you are thriving and using your gifts and feeling seen in the workplace, not only by your partner. And I'm sure he loves that for you as well. And so I love that as we grow and expand in this space, it's one of my favorite things about Door to Door is that if we take the opportunity to recognize the sacrifice and have awareness of how we're growing, and if we do have mentors around us, and if you don't feel like you have mentors, reach out to the people that you respect, and so that your time in Door to Door is not just for the money. And I love that you didn't even, that wasn't even on your mind.
No.
Because it was more about the heart and the culture. And something that I've been realizing, and we'll leave this with you today, is that when we follow our heart and when we lead and work with our heart, the money follows. And I believe that. And I think as women, especially, that our heart is integral and can never be removed from the work that we do, even in a job as crazy and fun as Door to Door. So thank you so much for joining us. And Nathaly, thank you. We're so happy to have you on our team and for you sharing so openly with our friends watching. And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Door to Door Team Podcast.
See you then.